Ashes of Earth. Book 1, The Fall. Prologue, The First Mistake. Location, secret UK biotech laboratory, undisclosed site. The lab is quiet. Too quiet. Sterile white rooms. Locked glass. Red security lights blinking in slow rhythm. Inside, a team of scientists is rushing. They are not celebrating. They are panicking. A lead researcher holds a sealed vial in gloved hands. "We were meant to cure it," he whispers. On the screen behind him, Project Immune Vector Vaccine. But the data is wrong. Heart rates spike. Samples mutate too quickly. Something inside the formula is learning. A junior scientist backs away. "No, that's not a vaccine profile." The vial slips. It hits the floor. Glass doesn't just break. It splinters violently, like something inside is pushing out. A black-red fluid seeps into the cracks of the lab floor. Within seconds, the alarms change tone. Not emergency. Containment breach. Too late. Oh! Day 1. First exposure. The first infected doesn't die. He coughs. Then stands. Then attacks. Security tries to restrain him, but he moves wrong. Too fast. Too strong. Like his body forgot it was human. Outside the lab, hours later, the infection spreads through contact. Not everyone changes the same way. Some collapse immediately. Some become fast climbers, scaling fences and walls. Some become sprinters, attacking anything alive in bursts of violence. And some don't change quickly at all. They become slow, silent, patient, waiting. Final lab log, auto-recorded. Subject behavior is no longer random. It is adapting into classes. Fast variant confirmed. Climbing capability observed. Slow variant remains active for extended periods without decay. We did not create a cure. We created evolution. Cut to black. Title: The Ashes of Earth. The Ashes of Earth. Chapter 1. The last normal day. The sky above Essex was impossibly blue. Not the kind of blue that promised adventure or perfect summer memories, but a deep, endless blue that hung over the countryside with an eerie stillness. There wasn't a single cloud to break it apart, and the air felt strangely heavy, as though the world itself was holding its breath. Tommy noticed it the moment he stepped into Frank's back garden. He couldn't explain why. It was just a feeling, one of those quiet instincts that whispered something wasn't quite right. He looked up for a second longer than usual before shaking his head and carrying on. The smell of charcoal and grilled burgers drifted through the warm afternoon air, mixing with freshly cut grass and blooming flowers that lined the wooden fence. A gentle breeze stirred the trees at the bottom of the garden, their leaves rustling softly in the sunlight. It should have been peaceful. It should have been perfect. The garden buzzed with life. Music played through a battered portable speaker sitting on the center of the patio table, occasionally crackling as someone accidentally nudged it. Plates overflowed with burgers, sausages, crisps and salad, while cans and bottles clinked together every time someone reached for another drink. For a little while, the outside world didn't exist. Tommy stood at the barbecue, carefully turning a row of sizzling burgers with a pair of smoke curled around him as the fat dripped onto the hot coals, sending brief bursts of orange flame into the air. "You'll burn them if you keep staring into space," Frank called from his chair with a grin. Tommy smirked without looking around. "I'm watching them." Frank laughed. "No, you're thinking." "Big difference." A few people nearby chuckled. Tommy finally turned one of the burgers over. "They're fine." Frank leaned back in his chair, taking a slow sip of his drink. "You said that last time." "And?" "We ordered takeaway." Laughter spread around the garden. Tommy couldn't help smiling. "You've never let that go, have you?" "Never will." The easy conversation drifted naturally between everyone gathered there. Rosalia raced across the lawn with Reese and Logan chasing close behind, their laughter filling the garden as they dodged around flower pots and garden furniture. Every few seconds, one of them would trip over the uneven grass before scrambling back to their feet, laughing even harder than before. Near the patio, Tara and Gemma sat together, talking quietly while keeping one eye on the children. Every now and then they exchanged amused smiles whenever one of the boys attempted another impossible football trick. Elijah rested peacefully in someone's arms, blissfully unaware that the world beyond the garden was already beginning to unravel. Ronnie wandered around filming little moments on her phone. She zoomed in on Tommy standing over the barbecue. "Professional chef at work," she announced dramatically. Tommy rolled his eyes. "Delete that." "Absolutely not." "It's evidence," Frank added with a grin. "Evidence of what?" "Crimes against burgers." More laughter echoed around the garden. For a few precious minutes, nothing existed except family. No fear, no danger, No impossible decisions waiting just beyond tomorrow. Just sunshine. Just voices. Just home. Frank slowly stood, raising his bottle into the air. Right then, he announced. Everyone looked towards him. I'd like to make a toast. He cleared his throat dramatically. To not working today. The garden erupted with laughter. Tommy raised his bottle and gently clinked it against Frank's. I think that's the smartest thing you've said all year. Frank smiled. I've had a lot of practice. Bottles knocked together all around the garden. People smiled. Children laughed. Someone turned the music up a little louder. For one perfect afternoon, the world still belonged to ordinary people. None of them noticed the distant helicopter passing high above the trees. None of them realized it was flying far too fast. And none of them could have imagined that this would be the last truly normal day any of them would ever live.